So as we know, the Sonic series has been around for the past couple decades, and it's crazy how far this franchise has come. And considering there are so many Sonic games, there have been good ones and there have been bad ones. But today I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I've had this video idea for the past couple months, and I should have released this video at least earlier in the year, because in case you're a new Sonic fan, I do think you guys should play these top 10 Sonic games in my personal opinion this year, and if not, I guess next year. Also, a little side note, these games are in no specific or particular order. I just randomly put these games together, and I just think these are just top 10 games you need to play. So if you feel offended, I'm really sorry, but once again, there's no order here. So without further ado, these are top 10 Sonic games you guys should play in 2026. So starting off the video, we have Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Now this is a game that released back in 2025, and I think it's probably the best Sonic racing game because it did improve on many mechanics and different things from Sonic Racing Transformed. So the new gimmick or mechanic in this game is pretty much what makes it so unique, as you would be teleported to different locations. For example, in lap 1 you would be in one specific area, lap 2 it teleports you to a different area, and then lap 3 you pretty much go back to the same place you were in lap 1. So another thing that this game had and many people were just very excited for were the actual crossover characters, because in this game you do start off with just basic 24 characters in the character roster, but then after that Sega decided, well, we're gonna add more crossover characters such as SpongeBob, Pac-Man, Mega Man, and even Sega IPs that we just completely forgot about, or might as well say they forgot about. Now when it comes to the actual level design of the game or just track design, many people are very divided about this because half of the people say that it's very well done and just overall very good and pretty smooth, but at the same time there are certain sections of specific tracks that feel very weird to say the least. But besides that, I do think in terms of track design, all of these tracks are just unique in their own way. And another huge thing that many people enjoyed about this game as well is the fact that we have customization, similar to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where you can customize your vehicles. Well, you can do the same thing in this game as well, and they even added gadgets where you can actually increase many different things to make your vehicle overall better and make your race even better in the actual tracks. So yeah, overall I do think this is a really good game, especially if you're brand new to like the Sonic Racing series or just overall to the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. Now this is a must pick up because I do think they're gonna keep updating this thing for who knows how many years. We recently got a year 2 announcement, so we are going to be getting even more DLC, and I guarantee you we're going to see a bunch of surprise crossover characters, and I hope one of them is finally Goku or just some Dragon Ball cast members, because I think it's about time Sonic and Dragon Ball have finally crossed paths with each other, please. So for the next game, especially if you're brand new to the Sonic franchise, I do think this is a must-have and pretty much a must-pick-up because this game released back in 2023, and this game is Sonic Origins Plus. So this game is basically an expanded compilation of the classic 2D Sonic the Hedgehog games such as Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Sonic CD, and overall the game is just a lot better compared to the original because here we actually have widescreen support. And another cool thing is that Amy Rose is actually a playable character for the first time across the 4 main titles, and Knuckles was added to Sonic CD. Overall, the game is a total blast because it just has so much different things to do in the game, such as adding the Game Gear titles such as Sonic Chaos, Sonic Spinball, Tails Adventure, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, and much more. There are 12 in total, by the way. There are other modes such as the Classic mode, which has the original resolution and limited lives, and we also have the Anniversary mode, which has unlimited lives and a revamped widescreen HD support. And there are some extra things such as like the bonus content type of stuff where you have mirror mode, extreme missions, museum content, and custom music packs. Now up next in the list, we possibly have the best 2D Sonic game of all time according to many Sonic fans, and this would be Sonic Mania, but I want to add Sonic Mania Plus because this game offers you more than the base game. So this game was released back in 2018, and it's pretty much just an expanded version of the original game that released back in 2017, adding new playable characters, a fresh game mode, and physical release bonuses. The game is highly regarded as one of the best 2D Sonic games, and of course many people really enjoy the fact that Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel were added into the game and were given their own unique mechanics. And if you did manage to get the Sonic Mania Plus game or edition of it, then there was a brand new mode, and this mode would be Encore Mode, which is a remixed version of the campaign featuring altered zone layouts, fresh color palettes, different item and character locations, and reworked boss battles. Once again, as stated previously, this is one of the most highly acclaimed Sonic games just because this game is very similar to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which was another huge game that many people have stated to be one of the best 2D Sonic games, as it controlled very similar to that game, and just overall the whole gameplay of this game was just very good. Now up next in the list we do have Sonic Unleashed, which is a very controversial game because many people were not very fond of this game when it first released back in 2008. Now this game specifically had many different ports and many different versions, but the one I'm going to be talking about today is the Xbox 360 version and the PS3 version. So as we know, Sonic Unleashed is divided into two different sections where we have Daytime Sonic and Nighttime Sonic. Daytime Sonic pretty much controls as a regular boost game mechanic, which this was the first 3D game to implement the boost mechanic. Of course we have Sonic Rush, but I'm not going to include that because that's a 2D game. But Sonic Unleashed introduced something super like fast-paced into the Sonic franchise. Now when it comes to Daytime Sonic, it mostly focuses on high-speed momentum, quick stepping, and drifting. Now there are certain 2D sections for the 3D parts of it, but people just disregard that because it's actually just very fun, and before you know it, the whole level or stage is over. Now shifting focus to the Nighttime Sonic, yeah, this man pretty much becomes a werehog, and the whole gameplay style of it changes as it becomes a more combat-based game, as it's not your traditional Sonic Boost game or your adventure game. No, this is kind of like a God of War copy in a way, as many people like to state, but it has its own unique taste to the whole mechanic of combat and stuff like that. Now when it comes to Nighttime Sonic, it mostly focuses on combos, you stretching your arms, there's more platforming and stuff like that, but many people were just not a fan of this specific gameplay style just because it felt a lot more slower compared to Daytime Sonic, where you pretty much go crazy and destroy everything your way. And this game is highly regarded as one of the best looking Sonic games of all time, and to be fair, this game is almost 20 years old and it was put on a different engine, and overall this game looks like a whole masterpiece because the whole art style, direction, everything about this game just looks chef's kiss. Now the next game I do want to talk about is Sonic Adventure 2. Now this is probably one of the most highly regarded games in the Sonic community and is widely known to be as the best Sonic game of all time. Now why is this game regarded as the best Sonic game of all time? Well, when it comes to its story, I think this is where the whole hype factor lies around it, because we were actually shown a new character known as Shadow the Hedgehog. This character is widely known to be one of the most glazed and overall one of the most popular Sonic characters ever since his arrival in Sonic Adventure 2. The game also features two different stories where we have a hero side and the dark side, where in the hero side you do play as Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. Now for a dark side we play as Rouge, Dr. Eggman, and of course Shadow. Now this is where the Sonic community feels a little bit divided on, as there are different gameplay styles in this game as well. First up, we do have our speed sections with both Sonic and Shadow, and in my personal opinion, I do think this is the best part of the game, just because the actual level design for both of these characters feel very well done, and it just feels like a whole total blast to play. Up next, we have the mech stages with both Dr. Eggman and Tails. Now, this is where many people are not very fond of this gameplay style because it feels incredibly linear. You pretty much just shoot anything in front of you, and it feels incredibly repetitive. And finally, the last gameplay style is the treasure hunting stages for both Rouge and Knuckles. Now for this type of gameplay, you pretty much glide around as either one of these characters and find these emerald shards, and if you collect 3 of them, then the whole level is over. But many people were not very happy about this because they did take away the fact that you can get more than 3 hints in Sonic Adventure 1, while in this game you only get 3 hints, which many people were just very upset about. And I can't forget, but of course, the Chao Garden. Now this is one of the most important pieces of Sonic Adventure 2 and one of the most fan favorite things in this game. And speaking of Sonic Adventure 1, that is next up in the list, and this game released back in 1998. This was a 3D action platformer, and you do manage to get to play as other characters as well. Not only as Sonic, but you do get to play as Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Big the Cat. It's crazy, man. Big is actually one of the most important characters here. That man is a legend. Alright, let me stop. And we also get to play as Gamma as well. Okay, let's pretty much go into detail and explain what every single one of these characters does in terms of their own gameplay styles. So when it comes to Sonic's gameplay, it's pretty much just a fast-paced, momentum-based 3D platforming. When it comes to Tails, it's just racing stages and you being able to fly to certain areas. Knuckles, you're pretty much looking for shattered Master Emerald pieces. As for Amy's gameplay style, you're pretty much solving simple platform puzzles. For Big the Cat, you pretty much just go fishing. Yeah, you're looking for your homie Froggy. That's pretty much it. That's all you do. And lastly, we have Gamma, which is pretty much and essentially like the mech stages from Sonic Adventure 2, but a lot faster. Now when it comes to other different things to do in the game, this game actually offers you hub worlds, which there are several different hub worlds in this game, and honestly I do think is a really nice touch. And we of course have the Chao Garden in this game as well, which pretty much started it, then Sonic Adventure 2 pretty much I guess perfected it. Now for this next game, it's a very controversial game and topic right now in the Sonic community, but hey, you might as well play. It's one of the best Sonic games, Sonic Frontiers. Now when it comes to Sonic Frontiers, this game released back in 2022, and this was an open zone action adventure platform for the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, which was something brand new and a new take for Sonic. Now when it comes to Sonic Frontiers, there are just a lot of different things to do in this game. Now before people start going crazy at me, let me explain really quick what I mean. Now of course we do have the open zone, which is pretty much you running around, collecting tokens, and doing certain challenges or missions to advance in the story. Now after you manage to collect those tokens or keys or whatever you have to look for, you can actually go to a portal and then you pretty much get teleported to a cyberspace level or stage. Now when it comes to the actual cyberspace stages, this is where many people have mixed reviews on the game. It's because it doesn't control as good as, like, let's say Sonic Generations or even Sonic Unleashed. And I think the main issue here was how Sonic controlled, as Sonic felt very clunky, he felt a lot slower, and overall his drifting was just, oh man, it was a lot worse than what Sonic Unleashed had to offer you. Now putting that to the side, let's talk about something different, and this is the combat system. Now this game introduces a brand new combat system, completely different than what we had in Sonic Unleashed. So this game features an upgraded combat skill tree, which of course you do manage to put your skill points in, and then you do unlock certain new abilities such as new combos, counters, parries, dodges, and stuff like that, where you can use them on enemies. But the biggest highlight for many people for this game are the actual boss fights, because it feels like you're in an actual anime, and the OST, the music in this game, is just overall very well done. Now up next on the list we have possibly one of the best Sonic games of all time, and this game released back in 2024, Sonic X Shadow Generations. Now I do think this is one of the best deals or bundles you can get in the Sonic franchise, as you would get a remaster of Sonic Generations, which is one of the best and highly received Sonic games in the Sonic community and overall by many fans and critics. And you do have this like little mini game in a way, because it's only like 3 hours long with Shadow Generations, but overall this game is kind of like a masterpiece in front of many people's eyes. So when it comes to Sonic Generations, you do get to play as both Modern Sonic and Classic Sonic. Modern Sonic actually controls like a Sonic Unleashed type of gameplay style, while Classic Sonic pretty much controls like the OG type of games, and he's pretty overpowered in this game as well. So the thing with Sonic Generations was that it was an actual anniversary game, and it had that nostalgic feeling and factor to it, because it wanted to recreate and pretty much remake these old previous stages that we played in the past couple games, such as Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Unleashed, and a bunch of other ones as well. Now when it comes to Shadow Generations, this is the brand new game that many people were just very worried about, but in the end turned out to be one of the best Sonic games of all time, because it also was a boost game. But many people just love this game so much because of its new features and abilities, where you can actually use Chaos Control, which pretty much you would freeze time, so in case you wanted to get that S rank, well yeah, you can get it now, or its Doom morph abilities such as Doom Wings, Doom Surf, and a bunch more. But this game also had a hub world, which was pretty much inspired by Sonic Frontiers, and I think this is kind of like a little sneak peek for the next Sonic game. And overall, many people actually enjoyed the level design and stages in this game, because it brought back so many memories seeing these past Sonic game stages that we haven't seen in a very long time, especially Kingdom Valley. And we even got to see previous villains that we haven't seen in over 20 years, such as Black Doom and of course Mephiles. Now the next game I do want to talk about is another controversial kind of game in the Sonic community, where we have Sonic Colors. Now this game is actually the game that kind of saved the Sonic franchise and put it back to its feet back in 2010. So Sonic Colors is essentially a 3D boost Sonic game, but there are a bunch of 2D sections which many people were just not a fan of. And we were introduced to the new Wisps, which were pretty much power-ups for Sonic, which gave him new abilities such as transforming into a laser or drilling underground to reach hidden areas and defeat certain enemies. So the thing with this game specifically is that it originally released on the Wii, but a couple of years ago it did get a remaster on PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch, and on PC as well. And many people were just not a fan of this remaster, known as Sonic Colors Ultimate, because it felt like it kind of downgraded from what the Wii version initially had to offer you. This was a very simplistic and safe type of game that Sega was going for, so if you have still not yet played this game, I highly recommend it because it is pretty fun. And last but not least, I do think you guys should play these games. Now I'm gonna add and throw in a bone here, but it is Sonic Rush and Sonic Rush Adventure. These are two different games, but they're pretty much essentially from the same series. So both these games are fast 2D platformer video games that released for the Nintendo DS, and you get to play as both Sonic and Blaze for both of these games. So essentially both Sonic Rush and Sonic Rush Adventure are pretty much the same game, as you do have to use the boost mechanic, at least in terms of Sonic, but of course when you play as Blaze they have different type of movements and skill sets and pretty much gameplay styles. The thing that many people were just not very fond of or just did not like about Sonic Rush Adventure was the fact that you can actually travel to different islands and different locations with a speedboat, but you would actually have to use your stylus and pretty much draw the line to wherever you wanted to go to. And we do have to remember, Sonic Rush was the first game to implement the boost formula, so that's actually a huge win and huge success for Sonic Rush and Sonic Rush Adventure. But yeah, these are top 10 Sonic games I highly recommend you guys play in 2026 if you have not yet already. And I guess I'll throw in some honorable mentions such as the Sonic Advance games, because these are also 2D games and I highly recommend you guys play them because they're just a ton of fun as well. Sonic 06 in case you guys want to suffer because of the amount of glitches, but of course we have Sonic P06 and Sonic Superstars. Once again, that game has mixed reviews by many people, but I personally don't see anything wrong with the game except for the boss fights being a little bit harder and difficult. I guess why not? Sonic Heroes, the power of teamwork, yay! But yeah, you guys let me know in the comments down below, what is your favorite Sonic game and what other Sonic games would you recommend to people who are brand new to the Sonic franchise? But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Wanted to do something a little bit different, and hopefully I can do like a top 10 for Mario games or some Dragon Ball games or something else. You guys let me know in the comments down below. I do want to make this into like a little mini series. I don't know how long it's going to be for, but once again, if you guys enjoyed, I'll catch you guys in the next one. For now, stay safe, take care, and peace.